President Clinton declares an end to gridlock after winning the narrowest of victories on his tax bill. And what may be a partial Serb pullback from positions overlooking Sarajevo. This is the CBS Evening News. And this is Bob Schieffer reporting. Good evening. Well, the deed is done after months of negotiating, arguing, posturing, threatening, cajoling, and who knows what else. Congress passed the president's deficit reduction plan last night. The Republicans call it the biggest tax bill ever, but the Democrats call it the strong medicine that is absolutely mandatory to restore the nation's economic health. Linda Douglas has our report.
After a numbing battle that came down to the wire, Congress passed the historic Clinton budget plan and this morning went home. In his radio address, the president suggested he might learn to like Washington after all.
It's a bright sunny day in Washington, in more ways than one. The political fog that has surrounded this town for so long is at long last lifting.
Only hours before, the president was begging Democratic senators to vote for his budget plan. Finally, after agonizing publicly for days, holdout Senator Bob Kerrey gave in and voted yes.
President Clinton, if you're watching now, as I suspect you are, I tell you this. I could not and should not cast a vote that brings down your presidency.
With the Senate split 50-50, Vice President Gore cast the tie-breaking vote.
The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes yes, and the conference report on the President's economic plan is passed.
Democratic leaders urged the public to see this plan as a historic shift in the tax burden, arguing 90% of new revenues will come from the very rich. But Democrats also acknowledge they must cut more spending if voters are ever to trust their government again.
We should and we will revisit the issue. There will be more spending cuts.
The vote on the budget plan was the closest and most partisan in 50 years. Not a single Republican supported it, and there was not a vote to spare in either house. Last night, to his jubilant staff, the president suggested things may move ahead more smoothly now.
What we heard tonight at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue was the sound of gridlock breaking.
But Republicans did not offer an olive branch, and party leaders scoffed at suggestions that the president had won a big victory.
Well, he won, so I guess he can claim whatever he wants.
Not surprisingly, tourists visiting the nation's capital today didn't care much who won or who lost.
It's not perfect, but it's good.
Well, I'm just glad it was passed. I think it's important to make some effort to try something.
The president will try several more things when Congress returns from its recess in September. There is health care reform, which Republicans may challenge, and the North American Free Trade Agreement, which many Democrats oppose. Both big programs need bipartisan support to pass. Linda Douglas, CBS News, the White House.
There were also developments today in the Yugoslavian Civil War. It is too early to say for sure, but it appears the Serbs are beginning to pull back at least some of the forces from positions around the besieged city of Sarajevo. The first step in a UN plan to stop the fighting. Whether the Serbs follow up and pull back all their forces could be significant, because the United States has been urging the Allies to unite behind a bombing campaign against the Serbs if they don't move. We're going to begin our coverage in Sarajevo, where Alan Pizzi has our report.
Bosnian Serbs have reportedly begun to pull back some troops from strategic positions they captured overlooking Sarajevo, but are insisting that UN forces occupy the heights before they pull out completely. The UN idea is to put monitors between Bosnian Serb and government positions.
We ask United Nations to get sufficient troops and to take the full control, not only to monitor those